Now this is the secondary power system. So the way that I find the best way to do it is to place down all of the bits that you want. So let's get the switch, light. Let's get all the bits and bats and I'll explain them. So we'll place down the light. So place this one. So the cable system uses the blue placement material, and also it has cable written next to it. So this is what's used in the cable system. All of the batteries are. So now you know like which one's which. So this is cable. And that's that. 2. We'll set a light over here. Put it there. 3 is... This is a combiner. So with a combiner, you use this to combine all of your input devices, so like your generator, wind turbine, solar panel, etc. The arrow up, you point it upwards. It's just showing the right way up, that's all. So let's put down the generator. It's a bit more hitchy because I'm in editor here doing this. There's a generator. Generator. Let's see if we can find a solar panel. There'll be a solar panel somewhere. But yeah, you can play about with these parts and make some things up. So we'll place the generator first. You can rotate pressing R. That starts. Fix that. So red is out, blue is in. As on the panel there, it says blue in, red out. So to come out of the generator, it's the red. And then up to the blue to go into the combiner. Now you could have a solar panel. To place your wires, you can click and it'll stick to wherever you click. And then so now we're coming out of the so we could have a solar panel, a wind turbine, etc. all coming into this one box, and then we can go to the. I'll set it up first, and then I'll wire them up. Oh, this is another combiner, I think. Yeah, I think it's another combiner, splitter. So we'll go to splitter. Press R to rotate it. The arrow should be pointing upwards. And then we'll have a switch. And then we'll have Z. So that lights are all there, etc. So now we'll go from the combiner to the battery, from the battery to the switch, from the switch to the splitter, from the splitter to the lights. Now this splitter, ideally what it's been used for is to go to like different sections of the house. So let's just say that one to go upstairs, that one to go to the left side, that one to go to the right side, etc. So let's just go from this side up to here. So wherever you click, the wire will stick to it. And then that's that. Now the switch will work. The battery will hold charge. So now the battery's going down, but there is no fuel in the generator. So get some fuel, fill it with fuel, turn it on, and now the generator charges the battery. Turn that off. So you can have multiple ways of charging the batteries, and this is like a backup system. So when the main system goes down, this one you can just turn on as a backup. So I like to use this in the actual power station area. So when the power's off, you can turn this on and still see what you're doing, to be able to turn all the power on, all that back on. Also inside the house, have this as like a backup system to be able to turn the power on when the power goes off. There's also traps that you can set up with a flamethrower, a battery, and maybe pressure plate. So there's a trap that you could set up. So when someone walks past it, let's put a battery down. I think this needs a battery to work, or solar, etc. So you could ideally set up a solar to recharge the battery, so this is always on. So this is the out. To the in. This out. To the in. So now when I step on it, sets me on fire. Come on, go out. There we go. So these are an example of some traps that you can set up. So when you have a raid coming, you can set these up so it sets them on fire when they walk over the plate. There's also a laser detector. Have fun with it. Have a play around with all these parts. See what you can come up with. It's usually, its main purpose is as a backup, so you can turn all your lights on and everything when the power goes down. But yes, that's that. That's how that works. Alright, let's move on to the next section. But first of all, actually, before I go, you don't need to loop it. So this is the input for the battery. So you could go from your solar panel straight to the battery, and it goes obviously. So you got your positive to the plate. That's a switch essentially, and that turns this on. So you don't need to loop it back to the battery, you know, like an actual thingy. That's how it works. You don't do that. But that's what these signs are trying to say. But yeah, so you just come out with a positive into the panel and then straight into there. There's no reason to use this unless I have a solar panel, which is one. Towards sun. Like that. Now that'll charge the battery. So every time that this gets used, it doesn't take from the battery now. While the sun's out anyway. But yeah, that's how that works.